It's a special urgency episode of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I got 6-time All-Pro, all-everything, defensive end, defensive beast, Gerald McCoy from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I got Jared Goff. That's right, Jared Goff from the 11-5 Los Angeles Rams. And I got Super Bowl champ from the New England Patriots, currently of the New York Giants, Shane Vereen. And they are breaking down, giving their analysis, giving their predictions, giving who they want to win and who they don't really want to win, the games tomorrow in the NFL. We got Jacksonville versus the Patriots. We got Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast with Gerald McCoy of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jared Goff of the Los Angeles Rams, and Shane Vereen of the New York Giants, breaking down the championship games. Listen, between all three of these guys, they have played against all four of these teams. This is the best pregame analysis going into the championship games. Gerald McCoy, Jared Goff, and Shane Vereen, all NFL everything. This is the best football analysis you're going to get from the guys who played against these guys just a couple of weeks ago. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. This is an urgency episode. Let's go. Gerald McCoy, Tampa Bay Buccaneer beast. Based on everything you know, your professional analyzation, you've played against these guys, you know the game, you're a Pro Bowler, you're a beast. Based on everything you know, with these teams left, who do you think is going to wind up in the Super Bowl? Who are going to be the two teams and who's going to win?
I will give you some X factors, and then I will give you my final pick.
Please give it to me. Give it to me all, man.
Okay, so I'll start the NFC since that's the division I'm in. I played against. Didn't play against Philly, but I played against Nick Foles before. I played against this O-line that Minnesota's about to face, and I played with LeGarrette Blount. So I know a little bit about. I played against Alshon Jeffrey. I know a little bit about the combination he has. Nick Foles is very efficient, and he's not going to lose the game for you. That's why he's in there. Yes, that's what he did that year. He set all those records for efficiency and quarterback rating and all that, because he's not going to lose the game for you. He's going to throw to who he's supposed to throw to, and he's going to get it there, and that's it. He ain't going to take no chances. He ain't going to do all this other stuff. He's going to protect the ball. That's just who he is. If he plays outside of that, they have no shot. I'm just being honest. He has to play like he plays. He doesn't have to do anything spectacular, but he has to go out there, protect the ball, not lose the game. That's just who Nick Foles is. LeGarrette Blount is a gamer. I don't care if people say, oh, he's just landing on championship teams. This guy always manages to have some type of splash play leading up to his team winning the Super Bowl. Something. Whether he's scoring a touchdown with a run, he's getting a big first down, whatever it may be. People forgetting he's the guy who scored the first touchdown in the game last week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And his very first touch was a fumble. But he came back and scored a touchdown. They have a great combination of speed and power over there with Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount. I played against that O-line. They've improved drastically. You know, their right side of that O-line is the strength of their O-line. So if they want to get some movement, they probably going to go to the right. That's just my scouting report.
I like
if they
that.
want to get movement, they're probably going to go to the right.
This is the in-depth,
because that's where the strength of that line is.
I like this.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
And what else you got?
The defense is very underrated. Philly defense is very underrated. They rotate so many D linemen. They rotate. I think, me and Fletcher Cox are really good friends. And not to give anything away, but this is just the obvious. They rotate 9 to 10 defensive linemen. When you can rotate that many people and all of them can play, you're in trouble. Because the D linemen were very physical, athletic creatures. And if you can get so many to where the offensive line, they're one of the only groups on the field that don't rotate. So now you got all these dominant, extremely powerful, fast humans running at you, and then you got a new group of them. and then that other group comes back, and then you got another group of them, and this is happening all game. That's hard to deal with, man. That's hard to deal with, and just overall as a whole, the defense is very solid. I don't think people realize, they're like number 3 or something like that, something close to that, in overall defense. So they have a really good defense. So that's Philly, okay? You have Minnesota, who I played against this year. Yep. Minnesota surprised us. They had just come off a loss to Pittsburgh. They dominated the Saints in week 1. And then Sam Bradford gets hurt. Case Keenum comes in, and they get destroyed by Pittsburgh. And we're like, well, that's Pittsburgh. We don't know what type of team Minnesota is. And then we go up there, and they dog us out. We didn't know what type of receivers they had, that these guys are going to end up being Pro Bowlers and making miracle catches and all of these different things, man. Dalvin Cook was in the lineup then, and the NFL didn't get a good look at this guy, but this guy is going to terrorize defenses for years to come.
He's the real deal, huh?
I'm hoping he can get back to form when he gets back healthy.
Man, that's crazy, because that was like so long ago, Dalvin, and it's like totally a forgotten thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the NFL is going to forget about him, but if he comes back healthy and gets back to form, man, look out. But Case Keenum, I have never in my NFL career beaten Case Keenum.
That's
How
crazy.
Crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Never. Not once. So this guy, we going up there knowing this. We cannot lose to this guy again. This guy I don't know, he's just a buck killer. He just comes in, he won't play, he'll get in the lineup, he'll just destroy the Bucs. And he did it again. And it was a mix of us not being able to stop the run and big plays down the field. They have a dynamic offense that I think is a little underrated, and Case Keenum is another one of those Nick Foles. He's going to make all the throws, but he's not going to lose the game for you. It's going to be rare that you either get sacked or throw the ball away. He's just a very smart quarterback. He has all these NCAA records that people forget about. This dude is like the leading passer, number 1 or number 2 in NCAA history. People are forgetting that this is the same player. So he can throw the ball. He can spin it. And then that defense. They had a number 2 defense. Number 1 or number 2 defense in the NFL.
They're nasty, right?
Yeah. Up front, got a couple of Pro Bowlers up front. Everson Griffin is a monster. Linval Joseph is a monster in the middle. You got Xavier Rhodes on the edge. We can cover anybody one-on-one all game. You just, Patrick Peterson said something last week that said the road's closed. I like that. That is just, he's just that guy. So, all that being said.
Who you got? You got to make a pick, Gerald.
As much as I love Fletcher Cox, and he's my guy, I see it's entirely too close to having a home Super Bowl for Minnesota. I got Minnesota Vikings winning and playing in the Super Bowl.
And then Jacksonville and New England. Is there any chance? Is there any chance that Blake Bortles will be in the freaking Super Bowl?
Listen, watch this. You have the championship weekend. The championship weekend quarterbacks. Nick Foles, Case Keenum, Blake Bortles, and Tom Brady. Just listen to that lineup. Really listen to that lineup of the championship weekend quarterbacks. That is crazy.
What does that mean?
But that goes to show that this is the National Football League. Everybody is good and anything can happen. That's why they say any given Sunday. Anything can happen. If you out-prepare this team and you will yourself to this win and this team makes too many mistakes, but you don't make anything can happen. The Jacksonville Jaguars, man. This is incredible. They are in the AFC Championship about to take on the defending champions.
Crazy.
How does that sound? Yes. At the beginning of the season, if somebody told you that the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to be in the AFC Championship, you would have probably posted one of them long, extended Instagram rants about whoever told you that. Let's just be honest. If somebody told you that, That's probably what would have happened.
Absolutely.
And I would have been sitting there clicking the like button, like, yes, this dude is absolutely right, whatever he's saying.
That is funny.
But listen, man, let me tell you something about this Jacksonville team. Okay? The champs are who they are. I don't even have to speak on them. The Tom Brady, Bill Belichick combination is just one that is just, we've never seen anything like it in the history of this game. You got anybody can be on that team. Anybody. They just take a coordinator. Here, you be the coordinator. Here, go ahead. All right, you coach defense. Just go ahead. Here, you coach them. As long as, and that's not to take away anything that these coaches have done, because these coaches are highly intelligent, but everything's overlooked by Bill Belichick. And as long as Tom Brady's at quarterback, everything's okay. So the Belichick-Brady combination is just second to none. Now, let me talk about this Jaguars. I played against these guys in training camp. I'm just be honest. This is my honest opinion, and I'm going to say it, and I don't care how people feel about it. I went against the Jacksonville Jaguars in training camp, and I was thinking to myself, these guys are terrible. When we were practicing against them, I was like, listen, this is the NFL, and these guys are NFL caliber players. They're good, but when we were going against them as a whole in practice, and they couldn't really get upset with me for my diagnosis right now and what I'm saying, because they seen it. They practice, and they watch the same film I watch. Those guys, and maybe it had just been training camp, those guys were tired, whatever it was, but I walked away thinking these guys are terrible. I would have never said that out in the public because I'm not into disrespecting anybody.
Right.
These guys are in the AFC Championship right now, and I'm sitting at home talking about them. So if they want to combat anything I'm saying, just say, look, you're watching us play right now.
Right.
Now, I'll say it. They're playing, I'm watching. But I'm going off what I thought during training camp. I said to myself, these guys are terrible. But now you look at them, they are a completely different team than what I've seen. There's no way that you have Saxonville, right? That's what they're calling Jacksonville's D-line or their defense. As many sacks as they got, the number one team in the league for getting to the quarterback was the Pittsburgh Steelers. You mean to tell me this team is the number one team in the NFL for getting to the quarterback and they don't get close to Blake Bortles? Is that what we're saying right now?
That's what we saw. It's not what we're saying. The proof was in the pudding.
That's what I'm saying. This is a completely different team, man. When we were up there, I will say this. Leonard Fournette was not practicing.
Okay.
He did not play in the game. Jalen Ramsey was not practicing.
Okay.
I don't think AJ Bouye was practicing. I think they had a lot of guys that set out that really didn't get to practice. However, I'm not on offense, so I wouldn't even win against Jalen Ramsey and those guys. But I did go against offense, and they were not good, man. I'm just being honest. They were not. Now, what they're doing now is incredible. But that goes to show that it's training camp. When you're in training camp, you try stuff. You do different things. You work at whatever it takes to get better, to be ready for the season. So whatever they were working on at the time, they knew they had a lot of kinks they need to work out. But I'm going to give you this X factor, and then I'm going to make my pick. If the Jacksonville Jaguars win this thing, there's one X factor that people do not mention.
Give it to me.
There's one thing that they talk about. Jalen Ramsey's the best corner in the league. Okay, let's say he is. I believe he is. He had, in the past 2 years, Jalen Ramsey has been locked down. Okay, he's the best corner in football. You have Calais Campbell, who's most likely going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. Great pickup in the offseason. He brought in all these D linemen. They got all these different things. Leonard Fournette is a man amongst boys and running back. The X factor that most people are not looking at, and I just mentioned the Brady-Belichick combination, the X factor that people are not thinking about is Tom Coughlin. Brady Belichick have somehow found a way to win all of these games. In the end, they cannot be outcoached. I don't care whether you say it was a miracle throw, miracle catch, whatever may happen. There's only one coach who has taken Belichick out, and that is Tom Coughlin.
Twice. And it was gorgeous.
Think about who is the head over all football operations, who's brought in all these players, who's changed the playbook, who brought in the head coach, who's done all these different things, is Tom Coughlin.
I like it.
And now he's taken all his knowledge and everything that he's done, and they're going up to New England, and we have to play a game. So now what happens? My ultimate pick, and I have to, all of that has been said, I have to say this. I do not know how to pick against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Right.
I can't do it.
Right.
I won't do it. I refuse to do it. They have won entirely too many games against too much competition. It does not matter. Think about who's in the championship game right now. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who's on the other side? You got the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. All of these different teams come up year after year. Well, who's going to be in the AFC? Who's going to be in the NFC? There's one team who's always in the mix for the past 10 years, and that is the New England Patriots. I cannot pick against the New England Patriots. If the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New England Patriots and go on to the Super Bowl, it will be the biggest upset in NFL history.
This game will be.
Yes.
I love it.
Because it is the Jacksonville Jaguars and their history over the past 10 years. That's all it is. It's not that they can't beat them. It's just you basing it off the history. If we, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, were to go to the NFC Championship and play against somebody, see, here's the thing about the NFC, it's been up and down. You never know who's going to be up there. But you always know the Patriots are going to be there.
Yeah.
But if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were to last year go to the NFC Championship and knock off the Green Bay Packers, or go up to a game and knock off the Dallas Cowboys, or whoever it may be, who's ever been winning consistently over the past so many years and is always up there and competing, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were to go knock them off, it would be an upset. Probably not the biggest of all time, but it would be an upset. Let's just be honest. That's how people would look at it.
Absolutely. I mean, they got voodoo working for them. They've won Super Bowls. Last year was voodoo. Against Seattle was voodoo. You know, like that's 2 times with the voodoo. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I don't know how they doing it. I have no idea how they're doing it, man. I just know that if the game is going in the fourth quarter and it's close, I'm not picking against the Patriots.
I agree.
Because somehow Tom Brady and Bill Belichick is a genius. I've had coaches that I've talked to and players that have been up there. They say this dude is a mastermind. They say the stuff he comes up with, they've never heard before in football. They do not know how this guy creates this. And Tom Brady is a wizard with the football. This guy was falling last week. This guy was falling, running away. We all know Tom Brady is not athletic. He was running the opposite way, was falling on the ground and contorted his body and turned and threw the ball the complete opposite side of the field, and it was on a dime.
Makes me sick.
It is incredible the type of guy this guy is.
I agree. Jared Goff. What do you make of these 4 teams that are left? Yeah. So we have.
Well, I played 3 of them.
Break it down. Give me the inside scoop here. Now you're gonna probably play for, I'd say, 17 more years, because Tom Brady set the bar to 40. So now you could be playing quarterback to 40. So barring any injury, we're essentially playing quarterback to 40.
Sure.
So we're not trying to get in the analyst business till maybe later. Okay, we're getting fucking Hall of Fame, a couple of Super Bowls, all that shit's happening. We know that's happening.
And you're coming.
Hell yeah, I'm coming.
Right.
And by the time you get in the Hall of Fame and Super Bowl, I'll have at least one fantasy football championship. Okay,
at least one.
At least one.
Okay.
Okay. So break it down. You play. Give me.
Sure.
What do you know?
Well, I can just speak on each team's defense.
Give it to me.
So Jacksonville, all 3 of them have. So I didn't play the Patriots. I played Jacksonville. I played Eagles, and I played the Vikings.
Give me Jacksonville, because they're the one.
I think those are the top 3 defenses in the league. I think it goes Minnesota, Jacksonville, Eagles. And Eagles might be 2 in there, too, because Eagles' defense is unbelievable as well. But Minnesota.
Collectively, they're the top 3.
I'll start with Minnesota. They run, what Mike Zimmer runs, which is, some confusing stuff. It's a little bit of a mix-up. They got really good rushers with Everson Griffin, and Anthony Barr rushes at times as well. And Eric Kendricks is really good. Harrison Smith is really good. Zendejo is really good. Xavier, they're good at every single position. There's no weakness on that defense. Jacksonville, they run what Seattle has ran in the past, that cover 3 stuff, and Jalen Ramsey's really good. AJ Bouye is really good. Barry Church is really good. Calais Campbell might win the Defensive Player of the Year if Aaron Donald doesn't win it.
And Calais Campbell's like 50 now, right?
He's real good though.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But he's like 50, 51, 49, something like that.
He's a monster.
Sick.
Yeah.
The best voice in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Forget the NFL. The NFL is like all of sports might be the best voice in sports history.
Yeah. No, he's a funny guy to talk to. He's a good dude, but yeah, I mean they're good defensively. Puzzlesny, Miles, Telvin. I mean they're all really fast, really good. I think their speed is tremendous. Their speed. They're really, really fast on defense, and their pass rush is good. Njoku and all of those guys are really, really good. Jackson in the middle, and then the Eagles are really good as well. I mean, we played them at home. It was a dogfight. That was one of the a fun game, and
43-35.
Yeah, big
fantasy game.
It was. Yeah,
I know that means nothing to you.
No, it doesn't.
You lost 43-35. I know you're like, I don't care about your fantasy.
Yeah,
43. So what is their deal like?
I think it starts with their pass rush up front. Their pass rush is really good, and they got a guy Fletcher Cox and Curry and Brandon Graham and all these guys that can rush so well. And I saw that somebody said today they come off the bus, pass rushing, and that's what they do. They're really good at that. And on the back end, they're really good too. I think Malcolm Jenkins is one of the top safeties in football, and they're good across the board. There's no weakness on any of these 3 defenses.
Well, it's so funny because when I'm asking you about these teams, like I literally can tell, like it's like you're talking to me here, but also like there's quarterback mode, like because when you're playing these teams, it's in all these names, and you mean it's like in your head, it's ingrained in your head, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to picture who's on their defense by like seeing it, like when I was.
Can you
out there.
Smell them? Like when I say Minnesota defense, can you smell like a
yeah? Oh yeah. You can. The dome and their skull chant and that place.
Don't you want to just be like fuck your skull chant? I have nothing. I love Minnesota. I worked in Minnesota. My kids' mother's from Minnesota. Skull. Shut up already. Shut the fuck up already. Enough with the skull.
I think it's pretty cool.
You gotta say that because you don't want the. I mean, but you know what? They can't be any louder or more annoying. It's not like they're gonna like. I mean, that Apex that they were at versus Saints. That's a loud building.
Oh, that was the loudest place I've played by far.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
Even louder than Seattle? Because last year Seattle, but that was
Seattle fans left this year.
Break that down. Speak on it. That's trash talk right there. That's low key trash talk.
No, man, I'm being honest. It was. They're another team that's
you sent them home.
So hard to beat them. They're so good, and they're so hard to beat, especially defensively. They're just so good, and Russell is so good. But we beat them. I think we were up 30-something at half, and a lot of them left. I'm being honest. A lot of them went home, and we just it wasn't that loud after that.
Got quiet.
Yeah, but I played there last year, and it was real loud. It was real loud. No, they bring it. Bring it.
All right, so you talked about these defense. There's 4 teams left. Are you allowed to say who you think will win?
Sure.
Okay, so the 4 teams that are left.
I'll tell you who I'm rooting for. I don't know.
Speak on it.
Yeah, well, I'm friends with Case from last year. I'm rooting for Case. I'd love to see Case do it. And I'm friends with Blake, so I'm rooting for Blake.
Okay. Do you think, I mean, obviously, we're talking about the Patriots. How big of an upset would it be to beat the Patriots at this point? They're rocking and rolling. They make me sick. I have nothing but respect. Julian Edelman was on this podcast. I told him to his face. I said, I can't stand your team. To his face. Honest.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're here. He knew. Yep. He knew. I told him, I thought, what's his name? Matt Patricia with his pencil and his hipster beard.
Yep.
They make me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Still can respect you.
No doubt. No, I got all the respect for them. They're what every team kind of strives to be is what the model they've put on for the last 10, 15 years. I mean, I think they've been in the AFC Championship like 7 years in a row, 8 years in a row or something like that.
Who could keep track at this point?
Brady's been going to the playoffs every year. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so they're what every team strives to be. And yeah, if Jacksonville beat them, I mean, you can definitely see it happening. I mean, it's not that big of a long shot, I don't think. But
you're rooting for Case
and Blake. Yeah, those are 2 of my buddies, and I'm rooting for them.
Case Keenum, I mean, he's another one who was under siege. He gets traded. That's your starter, your first season. He doesn't start the Bradford starting in Minnesota. What do you make of this? Like, and Blake Bortles is another one. I'm like, he killed me a few times with my fantasy. Okay, you could tell him. If I met him, I tell him to his face. I know he's a fun-loving guy. He's a great guy. As far as I know, listen, he drives people nuts. But they're there right now.
Yeah, they did it. I mean, they're playing. They're still playing. I think what Case has done is incredible. I think he's the type of guy who doesn't let anybody tell him what's right and what's wrong. Kind of does his own thing, and things I learned from him, I still carry on with me, and hopefully will my whole career. Like just how to work and how to go about your daily life, and he's just been a great story. I think nobody deserves it more than that guy.
All right, those are his predictions.
I don't know if they're predictions.
Okay, those are who you're rooting for. What are your predictions?
See, I don't know. I don't like.
I mean, who knows, right? But what do you think's going to happen in these two games?
See, this is
the toughest question you're getting.
So, I'm going to play middleman.
Middleman.
I think in Philadelphia will be tough to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota did it. And the same thing with Jacksonville. I think in Foxborough will be tough to win in that weather, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
Okay,
And
I'm just going to say...
I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings here.
That's a middleman.
Yeah.
That is the middleman shit right there. Like, you just played the middle. Like, I mean, that was straight up the middle.
Straight up the middle.
Shane Vereen. 4 teams. I want your predictions. I want your analysis. We have the New England Patriots.
Yes.
They don't need any goddamn introduction. They're the New England Patriots. We know the whole deal.
Yeah.
Gronk, this one, they're cooking on all cylinders. They're all healthy somehow, some way. Just when it counts, their defense somehow, some way is improving right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars, which who would have thought this would have happened?
Exactly. That's so scary though.
So give me
scary.
Give me that game first.
The scary thing about Jacksonville is they're young, they're extremely hungry, they're out to prove a lot, and you don't really know much about them.
Explain that.
You've seen Brady in the playoffs you've seen the Patriots in the playoffs year after year after year.
After year.
Yeah.
After year.
After year. We haven't seen Jacksonville in the playoffs. We haven't seen Jacksonville play in a game of this magnitude. And that matters. That matters because games of this magnitude, every little mistake is magnified. It's huge now because it's the AFC Championship game. There's no room for error now. So I think that like the young Jacksonville Jaguars in this type of a stage is going to be very interesting to see how they respond to it. They're going to come out of the gates flying, but are they going to be thinking? You got to bring your brain with you, especially playing in New England. They play extremely well at home, very comfortable at home. They don't make a lot of mistakes at home, and you can't afford to make mistakes. I know their defense did whatever they did. They weren't very good defense this year, New England's, but it doesn't matter.
And they've improved. I mean, I don't know statistics or analytics, but somebody gave me something the other day. Like the last 3 games, it's. They've done this, they've done that, they didn't say
they tightened up. Yeah.
And they got voodoo. I say it. They got some
Hey, they know when to play good football.
Something happens.
Yeah.
They got sprinkle some kind of sauce. So if you had to make a prediction,
oh shit. I can't
Jacksonville versus New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette, I like him.
I like him.
I think his foot is a factor.
Oh,
because that injury he had, I mean, he's always had foot issues. I don't know if it was a left or right, but he was rocking and rolling the first half, and then he went to the locker room. He came out the second half. They won the game, but he didn't look like he was
right.
That foot factor's no one's talking about except for me.
Brady's hand. Do you think that's a thing, or do you think we're making a
He's
mountain
a robot.
out of a molehill?
I don't think anything. I've learned, Shane, to not think anything about the Patriots. So you say Brady's hand. You could say if they said that Brady couldn't feel anything in his right hand on Sunday, I'm still betting on Brady. Like literally.
Yeah, you can't. How would you?
I'm putting you to the fire, Shane.
I would never bet against 12. Never. Easy.
So your prediction is never bet against 12.
You never bet against 12.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
I want your analysis, your prediction. You've played against.
Yeah.
You've watched. What do you got here? Now, there's no Tom Brady here, so I want a hard-nosed pick. Shane Vereen, what do you got for me? What's your take on... You played Philadelphia.
Yeah. Philly.
What do you got?
That's my choice is Philly.
Why?
And I'll tell you why. A, because they're the home team.
What does that mean? Other than they're the home team.
It's your whole routine. It's much more comfortable when you don't have to pack a day early, get on a flight, go somewhere and stay in a hotel. When you can chill at your house. The game, if it's an evening game, I can come home and hang out on my couch. I can my mom can make me some food. You know, I'm chilling. You know, there's no stress. I don't have to worry about what time I need to be here. Where do I get food from? A lot of times when you're in a hotel and you're hungry, you know, if you don't want to eat the room service, it's like, well, where do I go get some food?
I don't know where the best cheesesteak is.
You know, after dinner is served, it's dinner is served. You know, so it's just more comfortable, and it's your fans. You know, it's your fans, and I like playing on the road. I enjoy playing on the road. I think it's cool getting yelled at. Playing in Philly is unbelievable.
Are they like? Listen, I find it very hard to root for the Philadelphia Eagles. I love the Sixers. Dr. J, he's right there on my wall. Rocky Balboa, Iverson. I could rock with the Sixers.
Yeah.
But as a Giants fan, listen, it's not like I don't hate the Eagles like some Giants fans, but I can't, like, when my team's out, it's hard for me to rock with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like, are those fans? They threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
They threw an egg at our bus this year. And that's the first time that's ever happened to me.
That might be undocumented.
I don't know. Some people might.
That's news breaking right here.
Some people might have got on their Snapchat, but yeah, this year when we played at Philly, week 3, we were driving in past the tailgate, and someone saw it out of left field. Came an egg and pow, hit the bus. Perfect.
You gotta respect the craziness.
Nothing but respect. If you landed the shot, I don't know how far he threw the egg. But he landed it.
He probably shot it from some egg gun.
He probably did.
They were probably waiting, like, you know, in the bush for you. Why, other than that, is Philly going to beat, based on Shane Vereen's predictions, why are they going to beat Minnesota? They're off a tough win.
Yeah.
They're high as could be off that. Case Keenum, he's like all of a sudden Superman.
Right.
Adam Thielen, I got a feeling. My man, he made the catch. There's like, you know, their defense is tough. Xavier Rhodes, blah, 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 blah. Why are the Eagles going to beat them?
Because I think the Eagles will be able to run the ball more effectively. And I think that's going to be extremely important with why can't I think of his name? Yeah, Ajayi. Golly, I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. I think they're going to run the ball very, very well. I like their backs, and then the third one, Clement. He's a nice little change of speed back. I think people underestimate Philadelphia's defense. Mm-hmm. Their defense is very good.
Fletcher Cox and company.
Yes, their D line is very, very good. Their linebackers are very, very athletic and fast. Malcolm Jenkins he's their captain. He's the leader, rightfully so. He's playing an amazing season. And I mean, they're smart. They play very well together. I think that defense has been together now for a better part of 4 years. Most of them, they're playing really well.
That's your prediction. You're sticking to it.
Sticking to it.
Yo, I want to thank my guys for joining me on this special, impromptu, unplanned episode of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. 6-time Pro Bowler Gerald McCoy of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jared Goff of the Los Angeles Rams, and Shane Vereen of the New York Giants. All 3 of these guys will be back with their very own I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast interviews. It only gets better. This was impromptu. It was unplanned. It was just too good to leave on the cutting floor. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Urgency NFL Playoffs episode.